Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are Podcast Network. This is We Are Air Season 2, Episode 25, Joker Review, featuring Greg McKinney. If this is your first time checking out the podcast, thank you so much. Please go to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you get a chance, head over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. We're at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at /We Are Podcast. With that said, on to the podcast.
We are Air.
Hey everybody, welcome to the We Are Air podcast. This is Duck. I'm here with
Jake
and
Javi,
and we have a very special guest today, Greg
McKinney. Greg McKinney.
Greg
What's up,
McKinney.
guys?
Thank you so much for joining us, Greg. What is the We Are Air podcast? It's a podcast where we talk about movies, entertainment, whatever the fuck we want to talk about. And if I met you this weekend at Retropalooza, thank you so much for tuning in and checking us out. Please, I know whenever you first start listening to a podcast, it's a little bit new to you, so stick with it. We like to have a good time. It's just a couple of guys talking about movies and shit like that.
Yep.
So, with that, we want to start by talking about the movie news.
Movie news. Damn, Whittly Wah.
Whittly Wah. I love the Whittly Wah. So, we were already talking about this, and that's why I want to jump to the podcast as quick as possible. Jake, you said that Michael Keaton might be making an appearance in the Infinite Earth Crisis, blah, blah, blah.
Them Infinite Earths.
Crisis on Infinite Earths.
So what's the story with that?
It was like DC's highest grossing comic book run in like the late 80s. So it explored multiple dimensions and different iterations of certain characters. Yeah, like fucking 5 different Supermen, 5 different Batman, you know, they're all living in alternate timelines and they all converge into one. Well, that's what this Flash Arrowverse shit is doing right now.
Right, and they're getting everyone from everywhere,
Yeah.
from the original Batman 66, Burt Ward.
Yeah,
up
he's
to,
walking around on set.
I
They
think
see him in Robin-themed clothing and shit like that.
And Tom Holland? No, Tom, who was in Smallville? Tom Waits.
Welling.
Tom
Welling.
Waits, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Welling.
So that's three.
Hey, Tom
that's,
Waits.
that's 3 Supermen
I think it's got a
already
big
that they
multi.
have.
So, there's news that he might be doing it, or is it confirmed?
They haven't confirmed it yet, but they're talking about like the potential of it happening.
It's water cooler
so,
gossip.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Oh, man, that would be really cool to see that. Because maybe that leads even into...
Well, okay, so they already got Kevin Conroy signed up. to
Right,
do
and
it
I
also.
figured he was going to Batman Beyond Batman, is what I kind of figured was going to happen with that.
That's what they need to do with Michael Keaton. They just need to make him old Bruce Wayne.
Fuck yeah.
And then do a Batman Beyond movie.
Dude, that would be awesome if they did that. Bring that back. Greg, you were saying
would
that
love it.
you like Michael Keaton Batman. Who is your Batman?
I love Michael Keaton. That guy's the man. He's great. I mean, I've seen him in a few things, but not everything. But yeah, that guy's awesome.
Is that
I'll
your
agree
favorite
with that.
version of Batman? Val Kilmer, George Clooney?
Those two don't count. They don't count.
Christian Bell, Ben
Yeah,
Affleck.
yeah. Whenever I first got introduced to Batman in the late 80s, yeah, Michael Keaton was my guy.
Yeah.
And then I think Christian Bale took over because I'm such a fan of Christopher Nolan and
Yeah.
the writing in that trilogy. I was blown away by that guy. He's dynamite.
I agree with you. It's between Keaton and Christian Bale for me. And of course, Kevin Conroy is Batman. I mean,
Right.
he is Batman. Just like Mark Hamill is the Joker. But we'll talk about that more. What were you talking about?
Look,
Oh, Javi loves the movie Jack Frost.
first of all, I
Loves
remember,
it. Hands
Even though he
down,
doesn't
favorite
remember
movie.
it.
I don't remember it, but I remember the feeling that it brought to me as a child, and I can't tell if that's from the Campbell Soup commercial.
Was
that's
the
on there.
feeling that sinking
the actual
feeling you
movie
get
Jack
where
Frost.
you realize, oh god, Michael Keaton's career is over?
It's done.
It didn't kill his career.
It did kill his career.
Was it Jack
Yeah,
Frost?
Yes.
He
Really?
didn't, he didn't even get anything up until Jackie Brown. That's whenever he kind of started making a little
Irony
bit
of irony. Jack Frost, that was supposed to be George Clooney. That's why the puppet looks like George Clooney. They had to replace him with Michael Keaton like a week before they started filming that movie. So I was always like, that doesn't match up. It was the gay Batman is what we're looking at. Because he went on record and said...
Shot man.
Yeah, oh yeah, he loves it. You really like that movie?
I remember liking it.
Do you
They had the
think-
guy from the Full Monty in it.
What was the last good movie he made before that? What was it? Multiplicity?
Oh my! Wasn't that
Multiplicity
after?
was awesome.
Yeah,
fucking
Multiplicity
love
is fucking
Multiplicity.
I'm
dope.
pretty sure that was after Jack Frost.
No.
No, I think Jack Frost came
Wait,
out later.
it's gotta be
I'm pretty sure it was after.
Jesus Christ, do I really
Gaggle.
have to? Yeah.
First of all, I'm going to go righteous on this one. I'm going to go
All right.
all in.
Let's see if we can get-
Multiplicity came out, and I think Multiplicity may have done his career in for a while.
No,
All right.
you're wrong, my friend.
Even though I love
Sorry.
Multiplicity.
Why do you love that movie so much?
Multiplicity?
Yeah, because
First of all,
fucking-
Amy McDowell.
I know, and she gets it from all four.
Oh my
of them.
God.
She touched my pappy, Steve.
And it has Bill Murray's older brother in it. I mean, who doesn't love a Murray?
I love pizza. Could you do that movie now with the fucking retarded one?
Yeah, they never called him retarded.
They didn't.
No.
No, they explained exactly how this happened.
Well, if you make a copy of a copy,
It's a
you're going to get a
clone of a
shittier
clone
version.
of a clone. It's going
Right.
to be fucking dumbed down.
Right,
Yeah.
and as they get copied, they just get worse and worse.
You're right.
He's basically one of the Lannisters kids from Game of Thrones. He's
He's
kind of
definitely
derpy.
Yeah, you got the Habsburg jaw and
What's wrong,
everything.
what's wrong with this kid? Well, his grandparents are brother and sister. His
All right,
parents are
Javi,
brother and sister.
how much money are you putting on this?
Okay, I'm not going to put nothing, but I'm going to put a lot of pride in this.
Okay.
Jack Frost came out in 96 or 7.
Okay.
Multiplicity came out in 98.
Switch that shit. You got it
Yeah.
wrong.
I was going to
Were
say,
my years right at least?
Multiplicity
Yes.
is like 96, and then Jack Frost 98.
Yeah.
What was his last movie after that? Jack Frost.
Jack Frost. Then he did a movie called Body Shots.
Nobody saw it.
1999, 2002, A Shot of Glory, 2004, Quicksand, 2005. All right, so he continued to work, just
Yeah,
nothing
but
that
those
we
are not
wanted
good
to see.
movies. I've never seen any of them.
Up until
Well, his first comeback
what
role
about-
was the founder, right?
No, I think wasn't a Birdman.
Oh,
Birdman.
Birdman.
No, wait. He started getting Renaissance with
Yeah,
like
he
small
did a,
roles
he
like
did
in
a
other
quick
guys
cameo
and shit.
in the
Other guys.
Jeez, yeah, exactly, yeah. The
And he was fucking.
Yeah,
he killed it in other
Bed
guys.
Bath and Beyond, man.
Yeah.
Well, let me put it this
That
way.
was good.
You got to creep. Don't
Toy
go chasing waterfalls.
Story 3.
I don't even understand the reference.
What is going on with your TLCs today, man?
That's from the other guys. He was once calling TLC.
Toy Story 3, whenever
Ken.
he did the voice
He
of
was Ken
Ken,
Doll.
that kind of brought him back. But this is how bad his career was. In 2012, his only credit was Noah Ark, The New Beginning, as the voice of Noah. What the fuck is that?
Was that the Russell?
Did he have to
No.
resell his soul to the devil?
Yeah.
Like he.
I
I love
love
his
this.
earlier shit though. I mean, come on. We're not going
yeah.
to talk about like Night Shift and Mr. Mom and fucking goddamn Gung Ho.
Beetlejuice.
I mean,
Beetlejuice, obviously. We've talked about that several
This
times.
is how old I felt. There's a kid that works with me who's 19. She had no idea what fucking Beetlejuice was. She's
Take
like,
that.
"What is Beetlejuice?" I'm like, "How do you not know Beetlejuice?"
Are you talking
about Planet X?
Yeah. Oh, exactly. All right. Well, we have not talked about this since the news.
Johnny
broke a couple
Dangerously.
We haven't talked about this. Spider-Man is back in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Ooh, where he belongs, and only temporarily.
Yeah, so he gets 2 movies. You get Spider-Man 3 plus a crossover movie. There's been talk. I don't know if you saw Captain Marvel, Greg, but we were not fans of it. We did a podcast called Fuck Captain Marvel.
It's canon.
It is canon.
That's
But
not a hot take. It's terrible.
Yeah.
There's
It's
talk
hot
that
garbage.
the third Spider-Man with the cameo won't be in Avengers. It'll be a Spider-Man / Captain Marvel movie because they want to bolster the fact that a lot of people didn't enjoy that character, that movie, to the point where,
They did enjoy the actress.
dude, I'm telling you, I didn't have a problem with the movie. But that's what they think they're going to do. They're going to take Tom Holland, who's super charismatic, and put him with Brie Larson, who is doing whatever she's doing. How would you guys feel about seeing that crossover?
No.
Are they going to call it Marvel and the Kid? Yeah, like a buddy cop action movie.
First of all, not to put you in the spot, did you like Captain Marvel?
I watched it.
That's all you need to say.
That's
Yeah. I think it stinks. Yeah, it's not very good.
Are you a fan of Spider-Man, this version of Spider-Man?
Yeah, I'm on board. I like that.
Tom Holland is the Spider-Man, but Michael Keaton is the Batman.
I agree with that. I think that he totally took that role, and he is Spider-Man.
He's also Vulture.
I was thinking about this, though. What if it's Spidey Pool? What if they decide to do it? Deadpool and Spider-Man. They put them together in a movie. Would you prefer to see that?
No.
Or what if they do all 3? They do Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, and Deadpool in a movie.
Is it going to be rated R? Listen, I'm going to watch a Deadpool movie.
It's not.
Does
No.
Deadpool kill Captain Marvel? in the
100% yes. That would be amazing.
Is it going to be funny?
no,
Is it going
I-
to be silly? At least like the rest of the.
Well, if
Deadpools?
Deadpool's in it, you
We
have
hope so.
to.
I hope so.
You'd have to, and then
There'll be a lot of fourth wall
Spider-Man.
breaks.
Spider-Man is a natural smartass, anyways. You know, he talks shit to his fucking rivals whenever he's fighting them all the time. He's got quips and all that shit. So I mean, yeah, we're gonna have some comedic beats, but every time that they try to make a fucking joke in Captain Marvel, it fell flat on this guy.
Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah.
It was not good. And even when we went to see Endgame in theaters, like, there was that weird thing where she showed up and, like, 3 people clapped, and then they did that weird, like, yeah!
And then I fucking stood up and cheered so loud whenever
Thanos, like, one shot at her.
Yeah, he pulled that goddamn power stone out of his hand.
But I will give her...
To the moon, Alice!
He gave her a Crampton. But there was that scene where she grabbed the gauntlet and they all started walking with all the female characters. And I was like, that's fucking cool. I like that.
Everyone was
Yeah.
like, I like
Yeah.
that scene, but
Yeah.
it wasn't because of her.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that was the best part of that is because they were acknowledging that, hey, we have strong female characters here as opposed to just this
A
fucking
lot stronger than
bitch.
her because they're fucking human.
Yeah.
And
And they're still stepping up.
And I think that they knew from the backlash that came from the movie that they needed to change something. So I think this is their Hail Mary pass to actually make Captain Marvel work, and that's why they want Spider-Man, because he's so fucking lovable.
Get a different actress.
What's your source for this?
The internet.
Okay, because I've read opposite that they're like, yeah, maybe we should just hedge our bets on Captain Marvel. Brie Larson didn't work out the way that we thought it was going to.
Brie Larson is a miss, in my opinion.
Yeah,
She should not have
she
been
just
chosen
doesn't
for
fit
that
the.
role.
Yeah, she doesn't.
She's a good actress, but
she don't fit the fucking
she doesn't
fraternity,
belong
the
in a Marvel
sorority,
movie.
the fucking the camaraderie of it.
Like we talked about, you watched those interviews before the movie came out.
awkward.
Did you see this? The interview, literally, Don Cheadle was like, "Don't touch me, don't touch me." Like he looks so fucking super
Yeah,
annoyed.
both him and Chris Hemsworth on other sides of her, and they're both just
Hemsworth-
like, "Oh, okay,
Hemsworth
yeah,
handled
you're
a lot better
strong,
than
yes."
Cheadle. Cheadle made it. No, I was like, I do not like this woman. one
Uncomfortable.
fucking bit.
It is the craziest thing. You watch it and you're just like,
it's bizarre.
It's a squirmer for sure. It's like, oh fuck, I'm uncomfortable watching this shit.
it's nasty. But anyhow,
So what I thought was going to happen was I thought Sony kind of forced Venom onto the MCU.
We know for a
They're
fact
like,
it's happening.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I thought that was part of the stipulation. If you're going to take Spider-Man, you have to take Venom with you also.
because Kevin Feige's tweet, or whatever you call it, I don't know, whatever he sent out, he said Spider-Man is back in the MCU. He is the only character with the superpower to transverse universes, or whatever he
Right.
said. So that pretty much just says right there that they're going to allow them to do a multiverse. And it goes back to the theory we came up as a group. They could do Mojo World, bring in
That's
Deadpool.
the way to bring in Deadpool.
And bring him over there. And I think a lot of people want to see Deadpool and Spider-Man together. I just also know that there's been rumors about mixing them up with Captain Marvel. Bottom line, more
Well,
Tom Holland Spider-Man.
when they said
the best.
multiverse, and when Feige meant that, he meant that he's going to be in Sony's cinematic universe in Marvel.
That's what I'm saying, but he's going to switch over to that. And once again, Spider-Man works in its own universe. It's fine. But the fact that we got him in this MCU it was a gift to begin with. So if they've got to do it that way, that's the way it's going to
Bush,
happen.
they're just going to like close off the universe and just.
Plus, I really wouldn't mind seeing fucking Venom with Spider-Man, but hopefully they'll wait and do it right. They won't do it in the Carnage second movie right away.
What they need to do, I know it's unfeasible also, though. Tom Holland, Ryan Reynolds, Spider-Man, Deadpool, 30-minute TV show.
A TV show,
On
what?
Disney Plus?
Yep. Just have it run as a fucking series.
So you're
And do
thinking
that
like a
so
10?
they can have a different adventure every fucking time, and there's always some wacky plot.
And
that
since it's
goes to it.
online, they could actually have an R rating.
You know what's funny that you said that? I never even considered that they could do a Spider-Man TV show until you said that now. That would be pretty damn good.
That's
And
the
that would
only
be
way that I could
huge.
envision seeing them both together. Because if you do it in a movie, you have to like squeeze in all this fucking story and
Right.
shit.
And like
you
a-
have to make it make sense. Whereas if it just starts out fresh, you know, you can have your pilot episode where it establishes the characters and what they're doing. You could build up the, set the characters and what the show is about in the pilot episode, obviously, and then just go on hijinks from there.
Yeah.
You know?
I'd be down
That'd be
with
the
that.
only way that I'd really want to actually see it.
I would like to see a Spider-Man TV show, just in general, because like Spider-Man's always been the biggest and the best out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So to be able to do something like that would be fucking amazing. But I'd never even considered, because it seems at this point they're taking a lot of their second-tier characters. But if the TV shows work out, maybe we will see them move that to, or move some of the bigger characters down to the smaller screen. Because, I mean, maybe they know, too. We've talked about it. Maybe they know that the movies, after 10 years, are going to start to flounder. Because most fads do last 10 years. Remember in the 90s, we had the horror fads come back after Scream. And then superhero movies have been going for about 20 years now.
Yeah.
We've almost got 20 years out of it. So maybe we're about to see that change. What is the next big thing then? You know, what do we do then? I think this is the pinnacle of it. Maybe they know that movies are making so much money, but they have to be these big bombastic movies. Or do they? Which we'll get there in a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Martin Scorsese also talked about, he had a comment, I can't remember exactly how he worded it.
They're not
too.
cinema.
Yeah.
He said that these
So it's
superhero
like,
movies...
It's an amusement park.
Yep.
Do you guys agree with that? Did you hear what he said? Here, let
No.
me find it and read it for you.
What he did
No,
not care
but
for,
also
He said they're not cinema. I think of them more as like amusement parks.
the music park where
I'm curious to know, Jake, who is your Peter Parker in the Spider-Man TV show?
I want Tom Holland. I want Tom Holland and Ryan Reynolds.
Okay.
Yeah, I want the duo. I want it to
Tom
be like
Holland
that.
is Spider-Man.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned right now, like that he's been
Not
cast.
Andrew Garfield, not Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland.
All right, so Martin Scorsese, speaking about, I think, the premiere of The Irishman, which I can't wait to fucking see. Does anyone know when that's coming out?
November, I think?
Yeah, next month.
He said about superhero films, it's not cinema, it's something else, he argued. We shouldn't be invaded by it. We need cinemas to step up and show films that are narrative films. This is on the heels also of The Joker coming out. At one point, he was producer on.
He was attached to.
And obviously has a huge influence on this movie.
Yeah.
There has been sort of a backlash to this.
There should be.
All right, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's bullshit. He's trying to big league superhero
He's
movies.
struck a fucking...
He struck a fucking...
Son of a bitch!
He's trying to be a little highbrow. He's trying to thumb his nose up at superhero movies like they don't fucking count. First of all, I fucking cried at Endgame. I never cried for one of his fucking movies.
right.
I didn't fucking cry when Henry Hill got arrested.
Yeah, that's...
I've actually got you on video crying for blackmail later on.
That's a fucking awesome point, because I love Scorsese movies with a passion. But there's something about these MCU things where you get so attached to these characters. You know, you watch their arc throughout all this shit. And, yeah, tears of joy, tears of fucking...
sorrow and
yeah,
sadness.
everything.
I mean,
like,
it really is
all
long-
the emotions.
It's long-arm storytelling. It is. It is characters that you become attached to only in the way that we had in the past on TV. And so the ability to tell these multiple stories, or in the comic books, I should say, to tell these long stories in this format is amazing to begin with. The fact that it was lucrative enough that they would continue it is also a rare thing. We'd only really seen it in Star Wars and Jay and Silent Bob movies. I guess Kevin Smith movies where he had that.
Harry
Potter, things like that. Big franchises. But before that, I mean, Rocky, Predator, but these are not interconnected the way these stories are. It's a different form of storytelling, and it's amazing that it worked. But is it a theme park attraction where he's kind of like, these movies are so big and bombastic and formulaic, which some of them are, and there's no denying that. It's 3-act structure. Most movies have that. Scorsese is known for making movies that don't typically have a 3-act structure or have a very strong narrative 3-act structure. He's the only person I think who could say this and get away with saying it.
Me?
I don't know. Greg, you just heard about this. What do you think?
I think that the MCU, the Marvel Universe, is great. They're establishing a universe. They have multiple directors, multiple characters, multiple actors, and they're building an entire world. And that's not something that, I mean, as much as I love Martin Scorsese, it's not something that he's done.
And
That's
he
true.
probably can't do.
It's the motherfucking MCU, not the MSU.
Hey everyone, it's just Duck jumping in here real quick to say thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you're enjoying it, please head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you get a chance, head over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. And if you're enjoying the podcast today, please share with your friends. It's the only way we can grow this network. With that said, back to the podcast. I feel like, number one, at first I thought maybe it was a publicity ploy to kind of help promote Joker, which didn't need to do. Number two, if that's the way he truly feels, how would he change it? Why didn't he say what he would change? I think what he was trying to say is, with the movie The Irishman, he had to go to Netflix to get that made. Now, most people would have went to see a Scorsese film regardless.
Right.
I think that's what he's trying to say is the smaller films are getting lost in this. And I think he was trying to say Netflix is a place you can go to for films like this now.
You look at Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Buku bucks.
Okay.
Made back his money. But once again, if it wasn't Tarantino...
Right. But it still ain't hitting those numbers that fucking Joker's already hit. It's already broken records.
Right.
So you have these real filmmakers that are actually putting out what they call cinema. I could see the double-edged sword.
Absolutely.
Here. But that's not the point. I think he's just being bitter.
And also, and we'll get into this when we talk about Joker.
It does come across as bitter. It really does.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to stop you guys, but just to be clear, the Joker movie is not canon to the DC universe.
No.
It's its own thing.
It's a standalone movie.
Or is it?
That's a very...
Let's start talking about the Joker. You guys saw this movie? We've all watched it, right?
The what?
The Joker. I'm sorry. It's not Joker. Damn it. All right, well, let's talk more about...
Joker.
All right, so Joker
know
came
this
out
movie.
last week, directed by Todd Phillips, starring Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix.
And what I
Hard.
will say...
Joaquin?
Yeah. I will say it's an Oscar-worthy performance on his part.
Oh, yeah.
The movie made a lot of money. I think it's up to $300 million internationally now. Definitely a different take. Once again...
It already holds the record for the biggest October opening ever.
Right. And it's a hard R, which I think they didn't push the limits of that in the movie. What did you guys think of the movie, just up front? What were your thoughts?
I thought it was actually beautiful.
Masterpiece.
It was a masterpiece. That fucking cinematography, that guy's definitely going to get an Oscar.
The score is fucking great.
The soundtrack.
Also, that those fucking strings that you hear at the beginning whenever he gets the shit beat out of him in the alleyway.
And the long
the violence.
shots.
Oh, yeah, dude, that's so good.
Like, the long shots are fucking awesome. Like, the whole scene where he puts on the final Joker and he becomes Joker. And Gary Glitter's Rock and Roll starts
Rock and Roll Part 2.
which has been getting a lot of shit.
And that whole walk, that was like a Scorsese track, like when they're going into the club and they open up to Pesci and like the opening of Goodfellas. It's kind of like that when they just walk into the elevator.
Well, there's no denying this movie took a lot of influence from both
Taxi
Driver and King Comedy.
Yeah.
There's no denying that. There's a lot of that in there. Greg, what did you think of the movie?
I thought it also dipped into a couple of other very popular movies. Requiem for a Dream, whenever he's daydreaming that he's on a TV show.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even think about that.
How about The Machinist, whenever he is so lean and you could see his rib cage and his backbones like right through his back. My goodness.
And I think that plays into a theme that was throughout the movie. You started doing the dancing, and the movie is really about a man who becomes something else. It's a metamorphosis. And that imagery of the Tai Chi or whatever he's doing, that weird dancing, the whole time I'm watching it, it's the idea of a caterpillar turning into a chrysalis and working its way out of it into the butterfly.
Yep.
And that's why you see that final, that move that he makes before he walks out. And you're like, he has metamorphosized. He has changed.
There's stages of his makeup also at that time.
Right.
Also, that also convey that same feeling because, he had just gotten off the job. And it was all nice and neat. He had the outline around his lips and shit like that. And everything was touched up nice and neat. And he's sitting there crying on the fucking subway. Or laughing, I should say. But, we all know what he's doing.
Well, that's a big part of it. That laugh, the fact that they did that as a sign of his pain and anguish, that's when I was watching 10 minutes and I'm like, oh, wow, that's something different. That's something new. And you can see the pain in his eyes when he's laughing. It hurts him.
You heard that he watched hours and hours of people with, uncontrollable laughter syndrome or some shit like that.
No, I didn't hear about that.
So, it is kind of like a real condition.
Cerebral affect.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you laugh when you're crying? You cry when you're laughing?
No, you don't even cry. You just laugh constantly, but it hurts. Yeah,
and
it's a pathological laughing syndrome or some shit.
He's laughing, and you can see in his eyes, like his eyebrows are like that. Like he's
clawing, he's grabbing his throat, he's grabbing his fucking chest whenever
he's anxious.
When he goes to the stage the first time.
So then he does that, okay, and then he's got the clown nose on and everything. They fucking beat the shit out of him, and then spoilers. Are we doing spoilers?
Oh, dude, it's
okay.
So
then he fucking kills those three motherfuckers on the subway, right? He goes in the bathroom, the nose is off, the cap is off, the ball cap, and he's doing his fucking performance inside the bathroom there. His makeup's all nice and neat, but, a little runny from the tears. So then they walk into him after he's already been fired from the job, and he's got just a plain white fucking face with the two fucking, triangles there on the top, and then he's got the blood all over him.
Right.
And then finally, it's all nice and touched up. Right. He's wearing a fucking clean fucking suit.
You're right,
going
out,
he was ready to go.
It.
It's just all that it's going from having something set into chaos and then
embracing it.
Yeah, becoming what you become after the.
And that's the big thing. As I'm watching, I'm like, this is a character study, and I think a lot of people weren't ready for that. They were expecting. I mean, if you watch the trailer, you can see it's a character study,
right?
And you can see the influences. But I think a lot of people going in didn't know that because this movie's been very divisive. Either people love it or they hate it.
I think on the most part, though, people do love it.
People that hate it were just expecting the Joker. And
they were warning mass shootings.
Dude,
they were blaming so much shit on this fucking movie, and you know what? Not a goddamn thing has happened. And what it is actually saying is that mental health needs to be treated properly.
And people don't want to admit that there's a mental health problem here.
Yep. Well, the big thing about that, too, is the media incites a lot of this. They bring in a lot of shit, or they want things to come from that. The fact that the first thing they were saying is this movie glorifies incels, okay? That, I was like, I could see how you could derive incel behavior from this. But at the same time, you're also projecting on the Aurora shooting that happened whenever The Dark Knight Rises came out. And that whole thing with the guy being like, I'm the Joker, he never even fucking said that. And sadly, and I apologize to say this, but he went to do what he did in Aurora because it was The Dark Knight Rises.
There were more people there.
He could kill the most people in that shooting.
And you know, he had dyed red hair?
The cop evidently said that.
About his red hair. So
exactly. But the Joker doesn't even have red.
Exactly. None of that... Any of it makes sense because if the guy was a devout Joker fan, his hair would have been green, his fucking face would have been white.
To be fair, it was families of the shooting victims who came out and went against this movie, and they didn't show the movie there. They decided between Warner Brothers and the cinema that they wouldn't. That's understandable.
In good taste, obviously.
But the media took it and threw it out of proportions, and that was just their headline for the week because they have to create and constantly have content, 24/7, entertainment, news. And that becomes such a dangerous thing because you get that and you get
to
them
a
going,
point where you're going to start making shit up.
absolutely, or conjecturing completely about stuff, or just putting your own spin on it to get people looking. Clickbait is bad enough. The news is just as bad as clickbait.
That's all it is, anyways.
100%.
Yeah.
And because they need the people to go there and look. I can see some of the incel connections with the character, and I can't deny that. And I go, okay, the big one... And the
I don't think it glorifies incels.
But the big thing in the movie that I didn't like, the big thing...
I already don't like what you're about to say.
The Zazie Beetz character moment with the...
Oh, yeah,
she
died.
She didn't die.
Okay, me and Javi debated this. Greg,
She
let's
and the
go to
kid
Greg.
died.
Do you think that he killed Zazie Beetz' character?
Nope.
Okay.
I do.
All right, here's why.
I think that was a dream from the very beginning.
Here's
he met
why.
her on the elevator, and the rest of it was just a fantasy.
Here's why I do not think he killed her. I do believe he was in that apartment for real. They did the same thing with the therapist at the end. And yet you see him walking out, he's leaving bloodstains from his shoe prints. There was nothing, no trace of blood when he left her apartment.
They didn't film from the feet down. They filmed him from the knees
He
up.
didn't kill her. He left because she said, I need you to go. And you actually see him get up and leave.
I heard that they actually filmed the scene and they cut it because it
So
was too
that doesn't make
hardcore.
it canon. She's still alive.
Yeah, either way.
All right.
I'm pretty sure that he fucking killed her and her daughter.
I think having the whole Tyler Durden, she wasn't really with him. Okay, I
And you
understand
also,
why they did that.
I don't mean to go back.
The,
but
the
you also gotta
elevator
think about it
scene.
like
The
this.
elevator scene actually happened.
That's right.
The elevator scene actually did
100%.
happen.
And that was the very end of it.
Yeah,
First of all,
that was all.
she was actually nice to him.
But he killed her.
He didn't kill her because he didn't kill
Nope.
the midget.
He did say that, and I do agree with that. He did let him go, and this girl was
That
nice.
Joker had that version of Joker had a very specific mindset. He was only after the people that he felt did him wrong or stood for something that he was against, like making fun of him, like Murray did.
How would she not call the cops immediately, and how would he not get caught immediately?
Right.
Would you want to call the cops crazy?
Yes!
No, you never give a crazy
Call the
reason
cops right
to
now.
come after
Also,
you.
he didn't have sexual feelings towards the midget.
This is true.
But that
Or
doesn't
did
mean
he?
he killed her.
I feel like the entire
She was
contact
nice
that
to
he
him,
had with her
and he
was
even
in
said
the
to-
elevator.
All right, hold on.
He even said to the little person, well, I really like you, Gary. You were the only one that was ever really nice to me. And I'm not going to hurt you. He even got the fucking door for him.
He met her twice. Once in the elevator and once whenever he was sitting in her room
Yeah.
with his delusions of, we have a relationship.
Yeah.
That's all.
And
And he left her alone.
he turned around
Yeah.
and said, I've had a really bad day,
He
which
didn't take
is
her out.
very, very callback-ish to Killing Joke. And he looks at her, and that's all you see, and then you see him walking down the hallway.
Well, gentlemen, it appears we have
what
come
do
to an
you think
impasse.
happened after that?
I think he
So
killed
as-
her. I do.
So, but if you want to get even fucking deeper, we're going to do this, I guess. Fucking, is it all in his head?
Is it? No, that's an excellent point. Because the illusion, and I saw that come from a mile away. I'm like, this bitch ain't real. Like, she's not really there.
Me too.
But also,
But even at the end, whenever
I-
he's in the asylum laughing. That's
All
what I'm
right,
saying.
well,
Is
this worked-
all of it.
This
Is
worked from
any
the
of it-
beginning, then.
is
So
any of it
we
real?
know that he has illusions of grandeur. We know he has a narcissistic personality because he sees himself in that illusion, like you said, the Requiem for a Dream type of thing, where he goes to the show, and then Bobby De Niro's character is like, I love you like a son, kind of thing. And that's when I go, oh shit, I see myself in this character because I've had those illusions. Now I knew they aren't true, but I have delusions of grandeur because I have a narcissistic personality traits, and I've talked to you guys about this before. So I imagine myself in these, like, well, what would I do if I won an Oscar? I'm never going to win an Oscar, but I put myself in that state of mind for a second. But the truth is, I know that is not real. Now, with that said, there was a period in my early 20s where a little bit, and I couldn't tell whether reality or fiction was happening. And there were moments that happened within that really lost me. So it was about a 2-year period where I was a little bit kooky. And that's where I went to this character and I went, oh shit. Like, this is some legit shit. Like, you can get lost in fantasy to the point where you don't know what's up and what's down. With my depression, this movie's about depression and dealing with mental disorders. Things can happen if you are not on the right track. And you have to learn the skills to do that, or medicate, or both. And with this, he obviously didn't have the coping mechanisms beyond the medication, and he lost at some point during the movie the medication that he was on.
Well, that was the illusion at the beginning of the movie because she told him that they're cutting the funding for the entire program there. He's like,
Right.
well, who am I supposed to get my meds from?
Right. And
So that was the whole down right there, especially. And then whenever they come in, they're like, hey, Arthur, what, you got another gig or whatever? He's got the white face putting on, and he's like, no, just celebrating. My mom
Right.
just died.
Yeah,
You know,
totally
like,
lost. So the illusion of the girl up to a certain point, and then at the end of the movie, was that whole thing where he's caught and he's in the cop car, was that in his mind, or did that really happen?
So I like that they leave it open for interpretation, though. They don't have to explain this. It's whatever we wanted to make it. It's a one-off
What do you guys
fucking
think?
movie.
No.
I believe the murders happened, the riots happened.
I
don't think this was the inception of comic book movies. Like you guys are trying to make it out to be. She lived. That's canon. Hot take.
It's not. It's not canon. 3 out of the 4 people here.
First of all, it's 2 and 2. He believes that
Yeah.
she lived. I believe that she lived. You two guys.
Well, actually, it's 2 against 1 then, because he's a guest.
I believe that they lived. Dirk,
I don't like
agree
this
with you.
dynamic.
What was that, Greg?
Their initial exchange on the elevator was real.
Right.
And then from that, he created a positive fantasy. You know, she came out to the club. She laughed at his jokes. She was with him at the hospital with his mom.
That's
who
where
was,
he saw it.
suffering in the hospital. All of that was fake.
Yeah.
Right?
100%, because you see in the
they
comedy
show
club,
it.
he is bombing.
So-
and then when the music kicks in and he starts having like his glorious moment, and you pan back
That's
and
when
see
he
her.
go in his head.
Yeah, that's where his narcissistic delusion of grandeur came in, because he's obviously bombing. And you brought up about the at the beginning of that, whenever he gets on stage, and he starts laughing, and he literally is choking on his laugh.
Yeah.
He is choking on stage. I'm like, this is amazing. This is crazy that they're doing this.
He was damn near crying on the bus at the very beginning whenever the lady got upset
Right.
with
Yeah.
him for
And that's-
making the faces at her son. Like, he's like, he was visibly disturbed that she asked him to say that, because he wasn't doing anything wrong. Like, he was fucking around with the kid.
Right.
And, you know, he shows her the car, but you could tell he's like breaking down. Like,
Oh, yeah.
And that's in the first fucking 2 minutes of the
I know.
goddamn movie.
That's so good.
So
the Gary Glitter
this
song, this is a controversy, because I thought it fit perfectly in the movie. When he's coming down the steps and he's dancing, I was like, holy shit, this is great. It felt inspired.
Yeah.
Little did I know the controversy that came from that. Gary Glitter was a pedophile. He was caught with thousands of pictures
Right.
of child pornography. And there were issues, and the issues come up because of the incel thing mixed with the pedophile thing.
Yeah.
That's why, because so many people are trying to connect those two.
That to me, that's a very large leap. What I thought more so was because it was used in every fucking sporting event ever.
Absolutely.
Okay, so he's looking at this as like game day. He's
Absolutely.
going to fucking.
That's how I view it.
Yeah, he's going to fucking play with Murray,
Mhm.
and then he's going to see whatever happens there. Maybe I kill myself. Maybe I kill him.
And that's the thing, is they've been using this song forever in games.
Every
Everything. That's where I
fucking
know it from.
sports movies in the
Yeah.
90s, every fucking sports show in the 90s, any goddamn game that you went to,
Now,
be
to
it
be
Rangers,
fair-
be it Cowboys, be it...
He was
Mariners,
caught in the
whatever,
early
okay.
2000s, I think is what it was, that came to light. So maybe you can't retroactively take that song out of all those things, but I didn't even find it as an issue that it was used. But I mean, like Michael Jackson's music's used and everything, and I'm not saying
Exactly.
whether or not he did it, because I struggle
No,
with that
but
too.
you're
But
exactly fucking right, though.
I mean, I'm still going to listen
So
to fucking
didn't-
Billie Jean.
I didn't draw those parallels that the people are like, oh, he's a pedophile. You know,
So
like,
what was
but
the year? Tell me again, please.
I think it was 2000, 2004. I'll check on what year he was caught.
So tell me this: did you think that Todd Phillips considered that song might be problematic in 2019 whenever
sure
he
he did.
inserted it into the movie?
I'm sure he did.
Well, fuck,
He
that
knew it.
song goes so
Right.
well with that scene, though.
No, but I'm saying, like, but that's Todd Phillips. He don't give a fuck. I mean, he directed the documentary on Gigi Allen. Hated it.
Knowing that it would be controversial.
Right,
Ooh.
right.
And first of all, Todd Phillips is a grown
But like
man.
I said, I didn't draw the similarities to the pedophilia event of it. I drew it as a sporting event.
But there's nothing even pedophilic about this movie, so there would be no.
No,
pedophile.
exactly.
It's more people just wanting to complain
Wanting
about
to
nothing.
reach.
Right. Yeah.
It's a fucking stretch.
You're totally fucking just trying to grab onto something.
Which
Anything.
you got this is probably from people who already went in with mindset already in place. I'm ready to hate this fucking movie for everything it stands for. I will
Right.
reach at fucking empty straws if I have to.
Yeah,
And that's what they're fucking doing with this song.
All right, just for answers, 97 was whenever he got caught. He is still in jail. He is still alive at the age of 75.
Okay.
That's
Where is he in jail at?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think it said. It just said jailed pedophile Gary Glitter, not living the life.
Gary Kidder diddler.
Oh God.
Did he
All
know
right.
that his song is been inserted into a potentially Oscar award-winning movie.
According to this, he will not receive as many
Yeah, I was going to
royalties
say,
as he
hopefully
should.
his production company is getting the royalties for this one.
It says, this is from the Sun News, so take it with a grain of salt. Jailed pedo Gary Glitter to lose future royalties from a song used in the new Joker film. The ending, we were talking about that, and Javi was saying, you don't think that he actually got on top of the car and danced?
No, I do think he did.
You do. Do you think he got on top of the cop car and danced?
I would have believed that all of it actually happened.
Do you think he did?
Yep.
Now, this is where people are kind of going, that didn't happen. He went to the mental asylum, and he's imagining it, and that's why you see the flashback to the Waynes in the alley.
Yeah.
And that's why he's laughing, because that's what came of it. Most likely the Waynes to get killed on that night.
I don't think it was a flashback for him, honestly. I think it was just showing everything that happened that night.
Right.
Everybody thinks that, yeah, I'm going to say because there was no way that he would be there to see that. Why would he be laughing about that? I think he's just laughing about the whole night in general, everything that happened within. I'm sure he had to hear that the Waynes were killed after that. Doesn't mean he had to see it, witness it physically.
Well, that's...
But obviously everybody's going to fucking know if the most wealthy man in town who runs the fucking city is killed in a fucking riot during the garbage strikes. It's pretty much the fucking great riot of Gotham.
Well, how about the Waynes right there?
I like the fact that
Wayne.
Thomas Wayne was a fucking dick.
He was a dick. Wouldn't
Yeah.
you be a dick, though, too, if some weird guy came to your house and threatened your
No,
family?
it's not that.
100%.
That's besides the fact.
Yeah,
That's a non-factor for why I think he's a dick. First of all, he's the richest man in Gotham. You got people that are fucking downtrodden and upset at the status quo. Like,
You got fucking super rats running around the city.
you got super fucking rats, you got plague, you got fucking angry people. And you're gonna fucking have the balls, being the richest man in town, to kick a motherfucking down by calling them clowns?
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. He deserved that fucking bullet.
Shit, Javi.
I mean, I'm kind of right there with him, though.
God damn it. All right, so how about Thomas... Damn, dude.
Damn. Look,
Never heard anyone say that about Thomas
I
Wayne.
like that they did the total polar opposite of the fucking Thomas Wayne that you see in the Nolan verse.
But
You
who's
know,
to say that's
He's a
not how
fucking-
Bruce imagined his
he's
dad? Maybe Bruce never saw his dad that for what he really was, which was an asshole.
Or it could have been all in Arthur's head, and Bruce was an asshole the whole time, even though everybody could have been trying to help him out, and he just envisions it that way.
So,
but it's open for interpretation.
I think that character... I do think that there's something, Greg, you agree with me. If somebody comes to your house and messes with your kid, would you not be an asshole to him, too? And his only interaction is that, basically.
100%.
Yeah.
Best case scenario, you're going to get your goddamn lights punched out.
Dude, right.
Was that Alfred, by the way?
Yes, it was.
I was what? Yeah, come on, man.
I know,
Really?
What did you think it was? The
I don't know.
James?
First of all,
You got your fucking thumbs in my kid's mouth?
you're gonna get fucking
Yeah,
fucked.
No.
that's not going to fly.
No!
All right. So, do we think there's a possibility he could have been his father, though? They did age up Thomas Wayne.
First of all, Joker's mother was way
That's
too old.
years by
That's
my
why
mind.
I
Joker's
fucking
mother
love
had
it.
like easily 30 years on Thomas Wayne.
But his mom was a fucking nutbar also. That's why I fucking love it, because you do not know what is what.
I'll
You
tell you
really
what,
don't. And it's something...
Nothing was crazier than his mother's eye. I mean, that shit was just all over the place.
She's in American Horror Story. It's
I know
always
that.
like that. She's always got the fucking twitch. She was in 6 Feet Under also.
I thought she was the old lady from The Shining that
She is,
Jack
100%.
Nicholson was making out with.
100%.
She hasn't aged a day.
Ugh.
Pretty sure she was born
She's been
75.
sitting in that goddamn bathtub for a long goddamn time now.
Yeah, that's the thing, is the whole thing where they bring in the storyline with that, and she's like, he's your father, and I'm like, well, that's interesting. Okay, there's a version of the Joker that would fit to that. By the time they got to the point, and it's like, well, he was adopted, and he was crazy, and she was crazy.
And he
broke
was
down the whole thing.
abused, and she let the abuse happen.
A very rich
Right.
man could have made that shit disappear. What's saying he didn't plant that shit?
I
and
wouldn't
that
be
he isn't?
surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that it wasn't all true.
In his way, he did make it disappear.
Who knows if he didn't put that paperwork in Arkham?
Oh,
if
of
he
course.
hadn't,
Who's to say
Yeah.
that he didn't go to the utility? Yeah,
That's-
this broad's fucking nuts, so.
That's
Yeah.
why I love
And
it.
who's to
You
say,
can't
like,
determine
what
who's
if
the
she
bad
was,
guy.
like, prone to electroshock treatments? What if she was lobotomized?
Money will cover that right up.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Who's to say
saying.
that he didn't say, I want this lady to fucking just disappear completely. I want you to fuck her up to the point where she'll have no credibility on me whatsoever.
How ambiguous it is. Maybe he is his son.
Right.
Maybe there is that connection.
Right.
And maybe that did happen, and there's stuff that play into it. The other thing is, we talked about, this is closer to the Nolan films. Obviously, this can't be. This can't be Nolan. This can't be Snyderverse. Can't be anything, because the actors aren't the same, and the scenario isn't the same with the death.
It could tie into Nolanverse with the time frame.
But the Thomas Wayne in that movie is completely different, and his portrayal
Yeah,
is
no,
completely
he
different.
played, he was in Dark Knight Rises as
Who was?
the Thomas Wayne guy. He was the fucking senator at the beginning that
no shit.
Catwoman's hanging out with. And she's like, all my friends are looking for this guy.
Wait,
up here
he
at the
got
bar.
2 shots at the fucking Batman apple?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But obviously that isn't Thomas Wayne. That's why I think that this is a new beginning to or it's a one-shot. We don't know.
Why I also think that Thomas Wayne could legitimately be his father. He defended himself way too hard.
I mean, when he says, look at me, look at you, I was like, well, there is a little resemblance there.
They're talking about doing a sequel.
Oh, please, I hope not.
Okay,
Oh,
so
God.
the only
So
way
good,
that
I'm
you could
sorry.
do this, you have to go full on Joker, and you have to escape from Arkham
And
Asylum.
who's to say that he didn't escape at the end?
I mean, at the end, they did that weird Scooby-Doo thing between the doors and stuff like that.
Oh, what a great fucking ending,
Well,
too, though.
Are you saying that there's speculation they're going to do a sequel to this Joker, 2019?
Oh,
They
absolutely.
already talked about
Fuck
it. Even
off.
Joaquin Phoenix said that he would actually be interested in returning to the character.
Right.
Absolutely.
I don't see how that could work, but they even said that themselves. They said it would have to be the perfect script
Okay,
to do it.
2 questions. Number 1, does this connect to the Robin Pattinson Batman?
Pattinson.
Oh, wow.
Is that going to be, and like I've said before, does that version take place in the 90s? Secondly, at the end, he looks older to me. He looks like he's been in Arkham for a little while. I thought there was a difference in the way he looked before. Keep in mind he was wearing makeup most of the movie, and the way he looked in the asylum. I feel like there was a time skip there, and I feel like there could be the possibility of that playing into a 90s version of Batman. I think that'd be kind of cool. What do you guys think? Would you like to see that continuation?
No.
I don't know. I think
Leave
I
it
like
as
it
the
better just
one-off.
as a one piece.
Leave it as the one-off.
Yeah.
Don't fucking touch
Standalone
it.
movie.
Yeah.
Do not touch it.
Yep.
Can this version of the Joker fight Batman?
No.
Nope.
Batman will light this version up.
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
he would
Christmas
fucking,
tree.
yeah, dude. Like,
That Joker has no threat.
how many times I gotta tell you, man? Batman can beat cancer with a pack of cigarettes.
Yes, 100%.
It
100%.
don't matter either way. He's
That's
gonna
what I'm
lose.
That's what I'm saying. I don't see this version of the Joker ever having a chance against the Patton Bat or even Batfleck or any version.
Well, shit,
At
Batman
all.
grows up like that Joker's gonna be like 65, 70. No threat.
I'm pretty sure young Bruce Wayne in this movie could have kicked the shit out of him.
Now,
Oh, he did get light up by kids. So.
you should have just opened that gate and went after him immediately.
So are we going to compare my favorite Heath Ledger
All right, absolutely.
against the Joker currently now?
Absolutely. I know for a fact, we've talked about this before. Jack Nicholson, Javi, Jack Nicholson, I believe.
It
also.
was Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger.
But now it's Phoenix.
It's Jake, Jack Nicholson, Javi, Leto, Jared Leto.
You fucking
loves it.
bitch. You take out your fucking salty mouth right now. I will not hesitate to let the sand fly.
Fine, stop. His favorite is Larry Storch from the fucking Scooby-Doo fucking
I swear to God,
version.
guys.
He was also an F-Troop.
I'm gonna slap your flesh beard right off your face.
Fleshbeard.
This is a color of flesh.
I would say mine is Ledger, and you said yours is also Ledger.
Absolutely.
Phoenix.
Jake likes fucking Caesar Romero.
Phoenix. Yeah, who knew?
Dude, Caesar Romero.
Caesar
Joker.
Romero is the fucking
Romero's good.
Joker.
But you're saying Joaquin.
Joaquin took over at Ledger for me. I like the
More
Leto's not
crazy
even-
than somebody's like, let's just paint over my mustache.
Yeah. That's how good he was.
That's how
Scary.
fucking crazy he was as Joker. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't need
And that-
shit.
I'll give you that. His portrayal with how jumpy and like crazy it is. Yes, Batman.
Oh, yeah.
So good. Joaquin has taken over for you.
Yeah.
Has Joaquin taken over for you, Greg? Do you think this is a better version than Heath Ledger?
No.
The disgust alone. What?
You duff!
Heath
Joaquin
Ledger.
took over
Heath
my
Ledger for life. That guy's a real anarchist. He is a psychopath. All right, this Joaquin Phoenix, this is a weak man. You hit him with a firm sack tap, and he's going to fold right up.
Yeah, he's right.
He is a wiry, weak person. This
But
is
that is
mental
Joker,
illness.
though.
That is Joker.
Joker,
That is
my
Joker.
man Joker,
Could take a hit and
Heath
just laugh
Ledger?
it off.
he doesn't feel pain. He doesn't have a mother.
It's all fuzzy.
You can break his hand. You can break his jaw. Physical pain.
See?
He's graduated from that a long time ago.
He has
Exactly.
PTSD and he's an ex-fucking war veteran.
Even yeah.
I don't know the
it's awesome.
backstory because they never told me the backstory, and that's what I liked the
And they kept
most
switching it
about
up.
Joker.
Yeah.
It was just lies. It was just nothing but lies.
Yeah.
You want to know how I got these scars?
Right. But that's kind of the same thing because we don't know what's true and what's fiction in this fucking new movie either.
What it
With
really,
Joaquin Phoenix, we know that he has a mother. We know that he got his ass kicked in the first
Yeah.
30 seconds of the movie by a stupid plastic, whatever,
Okay.
spinning sign.
So you never read the comics then, though?
Tell me.
I'm just saying, like the Killing Joke, shit like that. Like he's not a hardened man at all.
Not one
He's
bit.
just all about chaos.
Here's
That's
the
what
thing.
it's all about. I get that Heath Ledger is a badass in it, and I do love him. He puts on a fucking amazing performance. Fucking great.
He
It's
doesn't
his
have
own
feelings.
fucking thing. Yeah.
He doesn't have a history.
But Joker does have feelings, but he's also all about chaotic evil.
This
Or
version,
chaotic neutral.
Well,
He's
this
chaotic
version
neutral.
would be closer, I guess, in the sense that he's weak. But the only thing he doesn't have is he doesn't have the intellect, and that's the thing that Ledger's Joker has. He's a very brilliant man who wants anarchy.
For as many times as he
But-
said he doesn't have a plan,
He's got a plan.
He did have a plan the whole time.
For Heath Ledger's, yes.
Yeah.
Joaquin's doesn't
Right.
seem to have a plan.
But also,
He's just
that
playing
wasn't
it
the
off.
You know
origin
Joaquin
of the
Phoenix's
Joker
Joker?
in The Dark Knight. Joker had already been going for a while before that because they gave a teaser for him at the end of
The first
Batman
one.
Begins. So he's already been doing all this shit. So he's already an established crime head in that thing.
Heath Ledger, the very first 15 minutes of the movie,
It's
when he
amazing.
was doing this bank heist.
Which also, by the way, the mask that he's wearing is the same one that Cesar Romero wore in his first appearance.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
But he got rid of 15 people who were irrelevant.
Right.
One at a time, just chipping away at him until he was the last guy, and then he pulled off his mask and famously said,
That what doesn't kill you only makes you a stranger.
Yeah.
I know,
Javi.
but that's what I'm saying. That's not his origin, though. He was already established at this point. This is how we see how he becomes that person.
But even this version with the Joaquin is not the Red Hood
No,
version.
no.
Which would be the best version. The Nicholson and the Jared Leto version are the only two
Closest
who do
with the
that.
vat of chemicals.
Exactly. And I feel like the Jared Leto one, which is Javi's favorite, as I said before.
Are you fucking
really
cunts, bro? I want to go on right. If you edit it out, Doug, I would be
Yeah.
so pissed if you edit this out.
Yes, dog.
Clip.
God damn
So
it.
what were you going to say, though? What is it about this version? Do you think he has the intellect to take on Batman? Who has, once again, every avenue covered? Batman has thought of every scenario before it was even created.
Okay.
He is the god
You
character.
know how Joker has
He's-
gotten so good at fighting against Batman? Being beaten by Batman
Right.
so many goddamn times.
Failure.
So it doesn't matter. Like,
But that's what I'm saying. Like
Failure is his greatest teacher.
his Thomas Wayne beat him with some paperwork. Batman's going to have a easy
what does he
time.
do? He comes back and fucking incites a riot and gets the Waynes killed.
That's true. He did fucking win that, didn't he?
Joker has never been a character that's been able to stand toe-to-toe with Batman at all, physically.
But once again, the intellect. This version of Joker
However,
doesn't feel.
Joker...
I don't feel like he has the intellect for it.
Okay.
Not yet.
Why are we comparing Batman? He's not even in this one.
It's the early stages.
I love this Joker because I find this one extremely relatable. I don't know if it's because of my own shit that I went through that I can relate and see why he thinks the way he is, why he's angry as he... You know, I get anger problems.
I know.
And I can fucking relate.
You're a shark eye, man.
Like, I would want to do some damage. And it's just like, I can understand, especially when he's like, I'll tell you what you get what you fucking deserve.
We
That
haven't
means
talked
if you're
about
going
it.
to treat somebody like a fucking animal, eventually they're going to become that animal and they're going to fucking take your head out.
What
Okay.
a fucking, like...
Well, let's talk about
turn.
that. Bobby De Niro's character, who's Murray, whatever it is.
Murray Franklin.
Murray.
Murray. Having that character be the Johnny Carson, be the be-all, end-all. And I was like, well, how is he, if he's a terrible comedian, going to get to that? Having him make fun of him. And that end scene where he comes out and right before he turns into the butterfly, he turns into the Joker. And watching him, even when he gets on stage, the nervousness of his being overly flamboyant on stage, and be like, come on, Murray.
The
And all that
dancing
stuff.
behind the stage.
Yeah, coming out
and
kissing
whenever
Dr.
that
Ruth.
finally comes out, he completes the metamorphosis.
Right.
And what I liked about
And
that
then,
scene when
yeah.
he came out, he was full on Joker. Didn't
Right.
fucking laugh one bit. He
Yeah,
wasn't
he did.
nervous. He wasn't
No, he
scared.
did.
Did he?
Yeah.
That was like he was just playing on, but he wasn't like his
twitching.
like nervous laughter. Like he was when he went on
kind of.
stage.
Yeah, it was.
Was it really?
Yeah, because he knew that Murray was attacking him, and he could tell whenever they're making offhand comments to him, like, "Oh, you need to write that down."
Right.
Whenever he's like
Then
looking
we
through
shoot
the
him a
joke
dirty
book.
look.
Do what?
Then we shoot him a dirty look. Okay.
Yeah, but he kind of giggled it off.
I honestly think that he snapped before he ever took the stage.
Well, yeah,
he
he
was
knew
ready-
what
he
he
was
was
Killed
going
his
to do.
mom. Killed the guy.
But there
that
was only
fucked him
two
over.
options because, and I love the misdirection because you see him with the gun. You see him before he has the makeup on. He's pretending that he's blowing his brains out.
That's the point. Yeah.
And then you see him in the fucking green room before the show, and he's acting like he's going to blow his brains out, like he knows what he's fucking doing. And
He's
then
gonna
whenever
do
you
his
see
killing
it do it,
joke.
so they do that fucking brilliant scene where he's like, I do have a joke. You see him reach in the back, he
Right.
pulls out a joke book. as opposed to the fucking revolver, which we were all expecting. Right?
I saw that. That was good.
Yeah. So he's reading through there, you know, does knock knock, who's there? Oh, it's the police. Your son died in a drunk driving accident or what?
And then he goes on to be like,
But he starts laughing his ass off about it.
that's what I'm saying.
That's
And
nervous
he's-
laughter because he knows that I shouldn't be saying this right now.
And then whenever he admits to it, he's like, I killed the 3 guys on the subway. And he goes, that's not funny. He goes, I think it's funny. And then that's when he really goes on his diatribe about
he's like,
why
do you want to
he's
hear
doing
a joke?
And so in the final, the quick escalation, that whole thing, you get to see the version of the Joker completely realized in his version of the Joker, which is unique. And this is why I truly believe this is an Oscar-worthy performance, regardless of what people are saying, because that I've never seen before. I've never seen this version of the Joker. He found a different take on it. And it really is something to watch. And as a character study, it's insane. That's a slow-moving movie.
That is a whole shocking moment, though. Whenever
Absolutely.
you think he's about to kill himself, though.
I saw
then,
it coming
yeah,
from
so did I.
We knew.
I did also,
We knew because
but-
we know what it was referencing the Dark Knight.
Right.
And
but
it
still,
returns.
like, I mean, but it was so, like, it was kind of a shocking moment at
It was
that
good.
point.
I did not expect him to blow his fucking eyeball out of the
No.
I got fucking
yeah.
chills from that scene, man.
And
It
then the
was great.
second shot, and it dances, you know, fixes his fucking little jacket, and
Right.
then goes up to the camera. Oh, my God.
I
so
would,
fucking
and like I
good.
said, I would like to see more of this version of the Joker, but I also understand what we're saying, that maybe this version needs to be just here.
This version of the Joker should not be compared to any other Joker. You know why? Because Ledger had that shit on lock. He fucking took the Joker and made it. This is it. What King Phoenix did, he's like, okay, I'm not going to emulate this at all. I'm going to go fucking lateral. And he completely did his own thing.
It's 100% its own take. It's
Yeah.
not a version I've ever seen before, and that's why I really liked it. But, with that said, is this movie as good as everyone's saying it
Yep.
is?
I agree.
I liked it.
I'm going to say no. And I know you guys are going to be
You
upset with me.
fucking bitch.
It's a very good origin film, but it pulls a little bit too much from all
Somebody
the
give me a
sources.
tomato. I gotta throw out this fucking goon right here.
It's not as
man,
good.
no.
I'm telling you, it's not as good as
No.
I think people think it is, or for me, it wasn't because it's too
You
by
know
the
what?
books.
You need to sit in the fucking theater and actually fucking watch
I
it,
did.
though.
And,
I went to see
and
it.
that's how you walked away
Okay.
feeling the same way.
I was excited for about the first 6 hours, and then when I started to think about it, I was like, well, I saw this coming. I saw the Tyler Durden girlfriend. I knew how the ending was going to go. He wasn't going to kill himself. And a lot of it, too, at the same time, I'm like, it was very cliche. I could see so much of the story coming. Now, with that said, his performance is Oscar-worthy. His performance is amazing.
Second time Joker wins an Oscar?
I hope so.
And
I hope so as
And
well.
this will be the first as a
very
main
good.
character. And I also think that the fact that they took a character who works better as a side character or a villain and made him somewhat sympathetic, But also at a certain point, I'm like, he's not sympathetic because he was killing people left and right, and this really does play into did he kill the woman or not?
He didn't kill the woman.
If he killed her-
What people wasn't killing left and right? He killed 3 fucking assholes that deserved to die.
Killed his mom.
He killed his mom. Fucking psycho.
Killed
Good
his
riddance.
clown buddy who fucking gave him the gun
You're
and
right.
sold
He
him
did have a
out.
moral. He did have a moral ground on it.
He
so-
did.
All right, that's fair enough.
He was like the Dexter of psychos. He only killed bad people. It's not until he evolves a little bit more and
Yeah,
starts
but
killing
I don't
people
want to
to
see
call
this get to like
Batman.
season 6 or 7 where it just sucks.
Yeah, but was Murray really that bad? Other than just kind of
You know
picking on
what?
him
I thought it the same thing up until he said, "You only invited me on this show to make
fun of me.
And fucking
Yeah.
that's exactly
I was
why
like-
he did it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like,
To
that's
bring him
pretty
on
awesome.
stage and to humiliate him in person.
Right.
I'm gonna stick to my guns. I don't think it's as good
You
as I
stick to your
thought.
guns all you want. You and your precious guns because oh, what's up, boss? I saw that coming.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
the fucking Sherlock Holmes of movies.
Can't jive with this one. I love it.
Alrighty.
I
I
agree
swear to
with you.
God,
I'm on
if
board
we,
with you.
If we do
Yeah.
hot takes, Duck,
I think that this was a weak Joker.
But
I'm
yeah.
liable to flip this table right now and come at you so
No,
hard, Greg.
that's the whole fucking point, though. He's supposed to be a weak Joker, if that's what you're getting at. Yeah, he's a fucking weak man, a broken man.
He
He's
is
fucking...
weak. I don't submit the movie was
I
weak.
didn't care for it. I didn't care for the development. I think that this is Michael Douglas and Falling Down. He had a couple of bad days, and he snapped.
That was good.
In
you
the
know, that's
heat.
a good reference.
Yeah, that is good.
And this is not the backstory of my Joker.
All
My
right.
Joker is a true fucking, he's balls to the walls.
This is how Joker got to start. It's not full on just Joker at the movie. It's not even the Joker
Let me
at
ask
this
you this.
fucking
Let me
point.
ask you
It's
this.
just Joker.
It's like Jokers. All right, there's multiple takes on Jokers. Who's to say that this was the Joker that maybe inspired other people to take the mantle of Joker? What if it's like the Dread Pirate Robin?
They do.
Like in Princess Bride, where there's been a different every fucking...
In the show of
Tropics.
Gotham,
Right.
Gotham has that idea of the Joker is a mentality, not an actual character until the later seasons.
Gotham
It's
couldn't
Rorschach.
use Joker. That's why they
Until
did
the
that.
later seasons.
They
But
couldn't even use it then.
no, he's in there.
No,
The
they don't
character's
even
name's-
call him Joker.
His name's Jerome.
I know,
but-
Jerome Valeska.
But-
And also, even in the very last episode, where you could tell he's the fucking Joker, he's been dropped in the vat of chemicals, he never says the name Joker. He's like, Jack, John.
Up until the end where he looks like the Crypt Keeper,
Call me
remember?
Jeffrey. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He never even calls himself the Joker at that point, though, but you could tell who he is. He's wearing purple, he's got green hair, white
And like
face,
I said, Crypt
fucking
Keeper
wrinkles.
Joker. That
Yeah.
freaked me out. How about this? Does this movie work without the Joker character? And that is the big complaint of a lot of the critics. I want to know, does this movie feel so much like Taxi Driver, meet The King of Comedy, that you make this movie without that Joker character even existing and it still works?
I don't think so.
You don't think?
I think what they did was spot on how they needed to handle this movie. It's paying homage. It's not ripping from. They hit their own beats. They do have certain things that do draw similarities
People
and
are moving
comparisons to
outside.
these certain things, but this, I think, is pretty definitive, honestly.
Do you want to ever, having not wanting to see an origin film for the Joker, and then being like, well, I kind of
I've always wanted to see it.
I've never.
I was the most hyped for this fucking movie the moment that
remember.
it was announced. I told you, motherfucker.
And I know with you, with Joaquin, that's why you were super pumped. And then with Scorsese, I mean, you can go back and listen to it. When we did our 4th podcast, I think it was about the Joker.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how excited we were. I feel like this movie does deliver, but it's not as good. But you guys say it's good. I just hope we don't get Phantom Menace again, because it could happen.
Well,
So-
yeah.
I've
It's
seen
that
it enough times to know I'm not going to get Phantom Menace.
motherfucking Last Jedi syndrome.
Yeah.
The first time. But I've already watched it like 4 times, so I mean, I'm pretty good. I know
Yeah,
what
I have
like.
only watched it once, but I will say that his performance is unbelievably good, and I hope he wins.
I
an
suggest
Oscar.
you give it a second go around, maybe even a third or fourth.
What?
Yeah.
Fuck you, I won't.
I swear to God, Doug, if we do a hot takes 2 and you fucking say, and we got to make this canon, I'm breaking your fucking knees. I want to Thomas Wayne your legs.
All right, any last thoughts on this?
I loved it. I thought it was a great standalone movie. I prefer my man Heath Ledger, a.k.a. Violent J, a.k.a. Jokeback Mountain.
And this is
My man.
I like that.
I love whenever he famously said, "Look what I did to this city with a few barrels of gas and a
gasoline
couple of bullets."
Good point.
That was
though.
my Joker.
Good point, though. He failed, though, whereas Joaquin's Joker actually won.
Yeah.
And he actually incited the riot. It's a very toss of the coin. Those are two different sides. That's
Right.
crazy.
He was banking on Gotham to corrupt itself.
Yeah, and in this
Whereas-
version, they did.
And he was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lost that.
He
That's
needed,
another
he
thing
needed
that
a
I do.
garbage strike and to shut down the mental health facilities. It would have been done.
Everybody that I've talked to about this new movie, though, and that's one of the things that I do actually pride upon it on, is that you don't even realize that you're watching a comic book movie
Nope.
until you hear Gotham City, or
Right.
until you hear Thomas or Bruce Wayne.
Right.
Like the other times that you're watching it, the whole time you're just like, holy shit, like what's fuck's going on here, until you actually hear those key words and you're like, oh fuck, yeah, this is a goddamn Joker
Also,
movie.
I love that this was a period piece. That it took place in the 80s.
And it felt
clearly.
like it.
Yeah.
You know, you
It
can
looked
you can
like it.
smell the piss through the screen.
Yeah.
It's all brown and yellow and dingy and
What
musty.
What would have been awesome if they used the fucking Tim Burton set from '89 Batman as a Gotham backdrop?
And that's kind of crazy. Like, we always have to do like a 30 years before Batman, because that came out in '89, and it felt like
Yeah.
the background was like a 1930s,
Well, it was
40s.
timeless.
Yeah, it was
You
weird.
couldn't you couldn't differentiate what time it was, which is why the movie remains a classic. Is
Yeah.
because you're not
got
set.
newsies running
yeah,
around and
you know, it's a timeless classic. You cannot put your finger on there as to when this movie takes place, and that's what makes it timeless. Obviously, because it doesn't get dated itself.
We're going to date this podcast with this awesome music. Dan-dan-dan-dan. Where is it? Gonna teach me how to Dougie. Oh, you're fine, dude. Dude, you know how often we have to pull him off his phone from looking at the ass?
That's why it's over here.
Yeah.
Well, it's charging, so I can't have
Yeah.
it. I wasn't.
Anything else you want to add, Hobbs?
I do believe that this Joker movie could actually be a good movie without being associated with a comic book.
Okay, so you're saying that there is a possibility this movie could have been...
I still would have loved this movie regardless had it not been associated with a comic book. This movie was a good standalone. It could hold its own.
So
I don't think it would have gotten the popular the notoriety had it had. have been attached to the
Well,
name
you're making
Joker.
Scorsese's point right there.
Yeah, it would have been. This is
Netflix or
You Were
Hulu
Never
or-
Really Here.
What is that?
Joaquin Phoenix movie where he
Oh,
plays a
directed by
hitman.
Affleck, right?
Casey.
No.
No, we're just like that Joe guy.
Joe Rogan?
No, where he plays
No.
a guy named Joe that like kills people.
He kills kid diddlers.
Yeah.
Oh well. I'm fine
Yeah.
with that.
People in human trafficking.
Oh, yeah,
It's
it's
a violent
fucking-
fucking
yeah.
movie.
I should definitely check.
No,
it
it
out.
really isn't. They show all the violence off screen, but you see the aftermath of
It's
it.
just like in Scarface. You never see him chop off that guy's arm in the tub.
Right, you just see the blood splatter.
But it's
you
just
know,
enough.
yeah.
It's just enough. That's the other thing with this movie. It's not extremely violent.
No.
It's not as violent as everybody made it
Everybody's
out
making
to
it out
be.
to be.
Yeah.
Or that, or we're super desensitized and fatality.
Oh, I also really like the
It's
Bible.
not that.
Trust me, yeah, I was gonna say, I think I know whenever I'm like, fuck yeah, when somebody's head is ripped off
But
their
that's also-
fucking body with their spine hanging out.
Oh,
I'm
speaking
like,
of
yeah!
which, did you
As
guys
opposed to like, what, you just got shot in the head?
I will say this:
That's
It's the implication.
Yeah, exactly. But,
Child's Play, the new Child's Play. There is one amazing kill in that movie, and it made up the whole movie for me. And it's about halfway through the new Child's Play
Mark Hamill.
with
Aubrey
Mark
Plaza?
Hamill. Yeah, with Audrey Plaza. There's one kill in that movie that it sells that movie. So definitely check it out for that if you're a gore fiend.
Well,
It
go ahead
was
and tell us.
really good. Yeah. All right. Spoilers.
Yeah, let us know what the best Joker has done.
Okay. Wait. The best Joker?
Did Mark
Mark
Hamill
Hamill.
not play
you're
Chucky?
right. Okay, yes, he did. And you know what? I forgot it was him. That's how good he is in the movie.
Yeah.
It sounds like Mark Hamill's voice, but you forget about it. There's a character who is like the boyfriend of Audrey Plaza, and he does not like Andy at all. And the Chucky doll sees this, and he imprints on him because he's not a spirit form that came in like the original Brad Dourif one. He's just But it works within the context of this movie,
right.
and he imprints on him, and he sees how badly this guy treats him. So he goes to his home. This guy's actually married with children, and he's putting up Christmas lights. And he sets up a Final Destination like kill, where he does all these things to take out this guy. And there's a rototiller, which is something.
Wait. He makes a Rube Goldberg machine to kill this guy?
Basically, yes. It's pretty great. And
Right,
then,
go
so
on.
there's a rototiller that, which would dig up the yard so you could plant stuff. And somehow this guy gets stuck in these
auger?
Christmas lights. An auger.
Yeah,
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I always call it a rototiller.
it's fine. Yeah, it's an auger.
So, anyhow, the Christmas lights get snatched up into it, and it slowly makes its way towards them, and Chucky stands on top of him, stabs him to death, and as he does so, it rips off his entire face and throws it through the back of it. It's fucking great. And
Does
then when
it splat and you can
it
see
hits
his
the
face?
top of, like, a
it's
yard
something-
gnome
so
or
you
something
just,
like that.
see it, and it's just like, oh, it's his face.
I won't ruin it. That plays into the next scene in the movie.
Awesome.
So, yeah,
Chucky
definitely
puts
check
on
that
the
out.
list of the boyfriend goes to Aubrey Plaza's house.
Dude, it's fucking awesome. The movie's not great, but that
Chucky fucks Aubrey Plaza wearing
Yeah.
his boyfriend's fucking face.
I want to see that. I'm not going to lie, guys.
Doll rape?
You know what? I'm into some weird shit. I can't help myself, dude.
Want to play?
I don't know. If I could,
100%,
predict
yeah.
that this movie's clearly not good.
What?
If I used your logic.
Well, all right.
Well, I saw that coming. That's a bad fucking movie.
Oh, he's right. Yeah, you just got to say that about the Joker. That's shithead logic. You can't do that. That's fucking asshole logic. You can't do that. You can't do that.
I said it's okay. I didn't say it was a great fucking movie. I said it's okay. Watch it for that one scene.
I said Joe Montana.
Man. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for listening. Please check out our website, or please check out our YouTube channel, Quack Attack 5000 on YouTube. Also, go to the We Are Air Facebook page and join us. Greg, thank you so much for being with us today. We hope you
Thanks,
had fun with
Greg.
us.
Oh, thanks.
you,
Yeah,
Greg.
I loved it.
Good.
Y'all, this is going to be the end of season 25. We will start again.
Season 2?
Fresh. Oh, yeah, my bad. What did I say?
Season
How many shots?
Episode 25,
Yeah,
season
season
2.
two.
We're
This-
about to start season 3.
Absolutely. So please be on the lookout for that. If you found us, this is the first time, thank you for listening. Please share it with your friends. Go to that YouTube. Once again, check it out. This is Duck. I have been here with
Jake.
and
Javi.
and our special guest.
Greg.
Thank you so much. Go fuck yourself. Oh, wait. What about
No. We love you all.
Oh, yeah, we
Please
love you all. That's-
subscribe,
Like, share, subscribe,
Put your
comment.
stickers on your bumpers.
Send us your
100%.
nudes. Guys also. I don't care. It's 2019.
No, he means it.
Sleep in your bed. We're not going to do anything.
And there it is. Thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you have enjoyed it, please do not forget, share with your friends. That is how we grow the network. And if this is your first time listening, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, you're going to love the other podcast here on the We Are Podcast Network. We have We Are Bagu, a video game podcast featuring me and Dr. Ethan Eastwood. That's where we talk Atari to Steam and everything in between. Don't forget Heroes, Gyros, a Dungeons and Distraction side quest. Me and the boys were sitting down, we're playing some D&D, we're having so much fun. You can go and start that from the beginning of the journey, Season 1, Episode 1. You're going to love it all the way through. And finally, I Hate Being Sober. Personal stories from epic people. I'm going to sit down with some of the most epic people I've ever met in this world, and we're going to talk about their life, we're going to talk about their trials and tribulations, and we're just going to talk about their journey this far. Head on over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /WeArePodcast. Also, head over to the Facebook group, We Are Era. We would love to see you in that group. And don't forget, if you've enjoyed the podcast today, share it with your friends. That's the only way we can grow this network. With that said, do not forget, support local comedy in any way that you can. We really do appreciate it. We'll see you next time.